Try now? Okay, good. Today's meeting is one without any committee reports and without any business. We're installing new officers, and that is the major event for today. To open our meeting with prayer, I'd like to call on former President of the United States, George Washington.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I had the honor to hold the appointment in the service of our country. Being accomplished, I am prepared to resign and return to domestic retirement, which is well known, and I'd leave with great reluctance. I meditate to pass the remainder of life in a state of repose. I think it's my duty incumbent upon me to make this my last official communication, to congratulate you on the glorious events which heaven has been pleased to produce in our favor, to offer sentiments respecting some important subjects which appear to me, and to be intimately connected with the tranquility of the United States. I take leave of Your Excellency as a public character and to give my final blessings to that country whose service I have spent the prime of my life. It has yet to be decided where the revolution must ultimately be considered a blessing or a curse. A blessing not to the present age alone, for our fate with destiny is to the millions that are unborn. With this conviction, I present a crisis which is silent to me. It would be a crime if I did not bring the crisis I see to Your Excellency. The language of freedom and sincerity without disguise. There are four things which I humbly conceive are essential to the well-being, I may venture to say, to the existence of the United States as an independent power. Firstly, an undesirable union of the United States under one federal hand. A sacred regard to public justice. The adoption of proper peace establishment, the prevalence that pacify and friendly disposition among the people. The people of the United States, which will forget their prejudices, policies, and to make mutual concessions which are requisite to the general prosperity in some instances, to sacrifice their individual advantages for the rest of the community. These are the four issues that I want to bring to your attention. I'm aware that there are those who are different from me and have a political sentiment that may regard me as stepping out of line. I know it's the result of the purest intention and from my own heart. Dear citizens, this is a brief summation of a letter called a circular letter which was sent to the state governments of the continental United States. As a citizen of America, we have been placed in the most enviable position in the world, and we should guard it carefully. That concludes my remarks, and now I would like to close with a prayer. It is my earnest prayer that God would have you and the states over which you preside in his holy protection, that he would incline the hearts of the citizens to cultivate a spirit of subordination and obedience to government, to entertain a brotherly affection and love for one another, for their fellow citizens of the United States at large, and particularly to the brethren who have served in the field. And finally, that he would most graciously be pleased to dispose us all to justice, love mercy, and demean ourselves with that charity, humility, a pacific temper of mind, which were all characteristics of the divine author of our religion. Without humble imitation of those examples and these things, we never hope to be a happy nation. Amen. Now, this, so you know, this prayer was given at George Washington's inaugural ceremony in 1789. The actual prayer and the stuff I tried to read you, which I did a poor job of, was a circular message, which is about 4 pages long, expressing his concern about the United States of America. And this was written on Sunday, June 8th of 1783. So 4 years had passed before this prayer ever was really put up. The prayer continues to be spoken every day that Mount Vernon is open to the first group of people that come through. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, gentlemen. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Madam Secretary, do we have a quorum? We do, sir. Good. You all have received, the board has received a copy of the minutes of the the December 14th meeting. I'll get it right in a minute. December 11th meeting. Are there any corrections or additions? If not, they stand approved as you received them. All right, Treasurer's Report. Marie Oakes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We began the month with $163,880. We had income of $6,375 for the Employee Appreciation Fund, a donation to the wood shop of $20, interest income of $71. We spent engraving of a leaf, $36.30. We had bank service charge of $35.35, and that was due to all the checks that cleared. Were allowed 150 transactions a month, and we went over that. Our employee Christmas gifts were $143,990, and I have avoided $999 of those checks, leaving us a balance of $28,184. Just a comment on the piano, I have laid all of the thank you notes that residents have written to, that employees have written to residents thanking them for their donations. So I invite all of you over there to read some of them. There's one at least who gave her whole check to the food pantry at her church, which was really a nice gift. The other thing I wanted to tell you was that on the Christmas gifts, we wrote 281 checks. The max was $599, and then it went down $450, $300, $150, and $50, depending upon length of service and days worked during the year. Are there any questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Marie.
Have a great day in this cold morning.
No, Scott, not yet, please. He's used to following Marie, but this year, this meeting, we have something special. The books have been reviewed by Stephen Anderson, and he will present his report now.
No drums? What's up? I'm Steve Anderson, for you that don't know me. And I have a letter to the members of the board of the Lanier Village Estates Residents Association. As requested, we have conducted an internal review of the statement of cash receipts, disbursements, and fund balances of the Residents Association for the year ending December 31st, 2025. The internal review consisted of comparisons of bank records, journals of cash receipts and cash disbursements, and the associated documentation provided by the fund's treasurer. The financial records of the Residence Fund are maintained on a cash basis. That is, receipts are recognized when received and deposited in the bank, and disbursements are recognized when the checks are issued. The receipts and disbursements are well documented and recorded in a manner consistent with sound accounting principles. We believe that the attached statement of cash receipts, cash disbursements, and fund balances accurately present the financial activities and position of the Lanier Village Estates Residents Association Fund for the year ending December 31st, 2025. Respectfully submitted, Stephen Anderson and Laura Anderson, residents of Lanier Village Estates.
Thank you very much, Steve. Appreciate that. Any questions for Steve? Okay, thank you again. Now, Scott, remarks.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'll start as usual with hiring updates. So Chris Horak, our new restaurant manager, started on the 29th of December. And Anna and I have gotten numerous compliments about Chris's demeanor, being out and about, being a people person, and he's also offering us suggestions on how we can improve the whole service arena. So thank you very much for those of you that have come forward, and we're very happy to have Stephen join us, or Chris join us. The ASTA director meeting took place this past Tuesday, so you should have either gotten or we'll get your report soon. And the forum will take place next Thursday, the 22nd. As I shared recently in a weekly update, North Georgia Medical Center is imposing the use of masks on their campuses. So if you are not feeling well, please do wear a mask, whether you have the flu, COVID, etc., or not, and make sure that our primary care suite knows as well. Julia will be out for another 3 to 5 weeks. She is progressing well with her recovery, and we are excited to have her back, but we appreciate our team for stepping up, our security team for covering the front desk, as well as some of the resident volunteers that are doing so as well. So thank you very much. Storage cages, please make sure all your belongings are inside your cage and more than 18 inches from the ceiling. We will be doing an audit of storage cages. Maintenance team will be, just to make sure that there are not items outside the cages or closer than 18 inches from the ceiling. It's a safety and fire survey thing. Team member survey. So ACTS conducts team member surveys every other year. Our most recent one was October of 2025, and Anna and I recently got the results back. There were 20 categories team members were asked about that were the same as previous survey in 2023. We improved, scored higher in all 20 categories, so that's great. So I will be sharing, along with Steve Eggles, we'll be sharing the ACTS team member survey results at an upcoming team member town hall on January 29th. And Anna and I will be sharing our team member results with you all in the February forum. So the February forum, more to come. We will analyze the results and put together a plan to address our lowest scoring areas. But we're very happy with the results, but there's still room for improvement. Bomb threat drill gone wrong is the title for me here. So now one thing I know, I heard from several residents is they did not get the complete message via text. So Anna and I know that lengthy messages can't get all the text won't go through completely. Now what I also know is I sent it to voicemails, home phone voicemail, as well as cell phone. So if you did not get the message yesterday, and this goes out to folks watching on television as well, please go to the front desk with a written piece of paper showing the contact information you want the messages to go to. We are going to continue to send a home phone, cell phone, text, and email we're going to add. So that I think one of those 4 ways everyone should get the message. So. But to go along with that, our resident did an amazing job. It's not like we train residents on how to take a bomb threat call, but she remained calm, number one. She tried to hold the person on the line for longer, asking a few questions, like, can you tell me more about where this is located? And she just did everything perfectly, and then she immediately went to the phone that she was on, and it immediately dialed security at the front gate. So those phones in your lobby, elevator lobby areas, don't allow you to call out or call another extension. They go directly to security, just so you all know this. So that's a good thing if you ever have to use them and need security quickly. But she did wonderfully, and she wrote an email to me and Anna this morning, and I'm going to share it with you. I asked her, and she said it was fine. She said, Scott and Anna, I was impressed with the quick and thorough response to the phone call I received on the telephone in the 3 West elevator lobby. The resolution by LVE team members to the origin of the call was impressive. However, my 5 minutes of fame quickly disappeared with that quick resolution. The follow-up call from Duke inquiring about my status was much appreciated. Once again, you and your staff proved the loving kindness and concern for the residents' physical and mental security. The knowledge that the telephone in the elevator lobby would connect me to the gatehouse helped speed my notification to security. I did not have to rely on my memory for a telephone number. I think this information would be good to share with residents. Thank you for all you and your teams do for us, Betty Justice. So very, very well done by Betty. So give her a kudos. She was a huge part of making this resolve quickly. I'll end my portion with a thank you to outgoing board members and district representatives, and a warm welcome to our new board members and district representatives. The partnership with our board and district representatives is very meaningful to Anna and I, and one that we relish and cherish working together closely with all of you for the betterment of our community. And that's all I have. Any questions? Yes?
Yeah, does bomb threat go to the cottages?
Did or does?
Or is it supposed to? We did not get it.
I sent it out to all independent living residents. Any other cottage residents here that did get a message? Linda?
I got part of it.
A text?
I got all the way up to, unfortunately.
So again, if you are an independent living resident and did not get the message, leave a note with the front desk how you want us to contact you. Because it did go out to all IL residents. Anything else? Yes. Well, law enforcement was immediately called. So they were on property within 5 minutes, and they kind of took over from there, interviewing Betty, interviewing our team members. Our local IT team was involved, and within minutes, we were able to track exactly where the call came from. And it was one of our team members thinking they were doing a drill with Oak Ridge Terrace or with Willowbrook Court, which we have to do by the state of Georgia. 2 times a year, we have to do a drill. It can be different types of drills. Bomb threat is one of the drills you can do. And I suggested we don't do bomb threat drills anymore. Yes. Nope, just one message went out, yeah. So, again, if you didn't get it, let us know, yes.
I understand that Verizon had an
Glitch,
problem
outage,
with the
I heard that
services
as well.
yesterday, and that may have been possible.
I did hear that as well, that Verizon did have an outage, large outage. We were in part of that area, and that may have something to do with the communication as well. All right, thank you all.
Thank you, Scott. Well, my remarks today will be my last remarks as your president. I'll be retiring at the end of this meeting. Normally, I've read in the bylaws that the president should make an annual report. I don't recall that happening, but I said, well, I better do that now. So instead of the State of the Union, let's say this is the state of the campus. There have been a lot of changes in 2025. Some people say change is the only constant, and we had a lot of changes. Scott started his second year, and with that, he came up with the Ask the Director questions. And I think I've already gotten my copy for this month. This is a real excellent way of communicating, not what the officers and the staff think you want to hear, it's what you really want to hear because you're asking the question. So I think this is an excellent way of communicating. Anna has come on mid-year to be our general manager and director of hospitality. She's making her face known to basically culinary and maintenance, I think, are 2 major activities that she's overseeing. Culinary's had an awful lot of changes too. Chad Whitehead's been made the Director of Culinary Services. We've had a lot of promotions in there. Eddie has been promoted to Assistant Restaurant Manager. We've had Carla and Jessica have been promoted to Culinary Supervisors. And as Scott has already announced, Chris is a new Dining Room Manager, excuse me. And he's brand new. He's just been here a couple weeks. But culinary is not the only one that's had promotions. We've had a new director of nursing, Madeline Terry, and Rhonda Hay, who had been here before, is now director of assisted living. And we've even brought in some technology consultants called community technologists. Most people know Jeremiah. He'd been here for a while working with a contractor. But Ethan has come along, and a young man in the technology area. And both of these offer excellent services. I've heard a lot of compliments about that. Even the residence board has been changed. We started the year with Sharon Schachter as president, and her health would not allow her to continue much past mid-year. So I came on as your president, and we elected Sam Lott as vice president. And in the culinary area, they've done a lot of different things in culinary also to try to increase the traffic in the Mount Vernon dining rooms, changing of the menu, changing, well, now you can come in and you can sit down and order and be served at your seat. So this is something that's brand new in culinary. The Legislative Issues Committee has brought a lot of political folks here. We've had a state senator, state representative have come and discussed items affecting, that could possibly affect LVE. And they brought us up to date on some of the road construction, the Sardis Road. That's, I think, due to be finished next year, but I'm not sure of that. But these things normally seem to have a lag and don't seem to get finished quite as quickly as we would like. The Memorial Committee continues to add memorial benches. So if you have someone you'd like to honor or remember, benches are available. The chapel gardens, which out here, you can see the evidence of the construction for the pavilion that's out there. They'll be planting shortly, and hopefully by April or so, we shall dedicate that facility. In October, the state health officials came through with an unannounced inspection in WBC, and they had only one deficiency. This was an excellent report. It was unannounced. You didn't know it was coming, so they did very well. Major capital projects that were finished in 2025. We got the parking lot paved in the east. New numbers there, new lines have been painted. I guess I won't have any excuse for parking in the wrong parking space anymore. I thought I had another one. Oh, clubhouse renovation. Yeah, the clubhouse has been renovated in 2025, and we're expecting a lot of that renovation was done by volunteers too. I mean, helpful to pick out furniture, drapes, this, that, and the other. And the other big major renovation is right here in this room. We got new drapes. We have a new curtain for the stage. We got a lot of new lights. The rug, this part that's blue used to be red. So there's been about a $30,000 renovation done here. Again, this particular room was a real volunteer effort. Residents did a lot of the work here. For next year, this year actually, 2026, there are many things on the budget. Things have been approved. And I guess when you hear that word, you expect it to be done. However, the way the system works here, it gets on the budget, and only if the funds come in do we get the money to do that project. And where does the money come from? New residents pay an entrance fee, and the majority of that entrance fee goes towards capital projects. So if we don't, you got the good side and the bad side here. You don't have any more residents, you don't have a big number of residents coming in unless we have a lot of folks here who pass away. So it's, we had 42 new residents in 2025, and they occupied 27 new apartments or carriage homes. Also, for this year, charging station in front of the clubhouse, a new roof for west, the building and the covered parking, and an upgrade to Willowbrook Court nurse call system. And also, it looks like we're going to be doing some renovation to the floors, covered carpeting, wooden floors, or whatever, in both Oak Bridge Terrace and in OBT. The Samaritan Fund for 2025 raised just over $100,000. That's a pretty big sum. You've already heard from Marie that the Employee Appreciation Fund raised a total of about $145,000. And we give that out twice. We give it out to graduates in the May area, and then we give out a Christmas gift. We didn't raise 145. We gave away 145. We raised only 138, just over $138,000. So you can see there's a little bit of a shortage there. How did we make up that money? We had some left over from previous years. Then let's see, got one or two more items. Retired treasurers. Okay, retired treasurers raised just over $74,000, and they donated to projects here on campus of $90,000 this year. That is a mammoth, that's a record. That is a record. And finally, the last thing, I'd like to say thank you to all you district reps, all you committee chairs. That's where the work is really done. We sit here and listen for once a month, but the work is done by the volunteers, the committees, the districts. That's where all the work is done. And I appreciate the efforts of all of you. We have so many volunteers here. Not just the committee chairs, but they got committees, and these committees work. And I'm very thankful to have had all of that. I'd like to give yourselves a hand. Okay, one other next item on the agenda. Ray, would you like to give us a report on the bylaws vote?
Well, now,
Yeah.
Mr. President, we had 339 votes cast, 16 no, 1 blank, and 332 yes. Cast ballots have been returned to the Secretary.
Thank you very much. For you and Edith, who collected these ballots and counted them, I appreciate that. I happened to see the figures too. I was amazed at the equalness of where those votes came from. East and West both had approximately the same, and the carriage homes, all of them had over 100 votes from each of those three entities. And 339 votes, was it? To have 100 from each of those, it means that the votes were fairly equally spread out among the residents. Okay, I will now like to proceed with installing the officers. And Duke, would you come on up and help us with that?
Thank you, Chess. Good morning, everybody. It's good to see you. It's a special time of year that we have this service of installation. And the longer I'm here, your remarks, Chess, just resonate with me more and more. The residents who contribute to the common good here continue to amaze me. All of the creative ways that you lend your gifts to the community is such a blessing, truly, truly, for others and for our common good. And the Residents Association Board is one of those efforts as well. And so that's what this installation is about this morning, is recognizing those who are willing to commit to the common good at LVE. So, to be a board member, and I believe actually we're going to have them stand, aren't we, Chess? Yeah. So any of you who are coming in new this year, I'd ask you to stand during this part of the service. If you're coming on to the board new in 2026, please stand at this time. Great. Thank you. To be a board member of the LVE Residents Association is to hold a position of privilege, responsibility, accountability, and influence. To your fellow residents and the staff at Lanier Village Estates. Today's service is about making a commitment to use this influence for the good of all. By serving the best interests of your resident peers and staff, you are called to have a healthy regard for overall ACTS policy, which can be distilled to creating a culture of loving kindness and cultivating that, and to work with good collaboration with the executive director and the staff of Lanier Village Estates. May all of your good work through 2026 make the community of Lanier Village a place where people can enjoy their life together. So, ladies and gentlemen of the 2026 LVE Residents Association Board, as part of your installation, I will ask you 3 questions. Please respond by saying together, "I will," after each question. Will you seek to serve the residents of Lanier Village Estates with energy, intelligence, and imagination? Will you strive to lead residents in cultivating a culture of loving kindness? Will you pledge to faithfully discharge your responsibilities in the spirit of loving kindness, harmony, goodwill, and equity? Ladies and gentlemen of the audience, I turn to you now with a question as well. Your peers on the LVE Residents Association Board have pledged their commitment to you and to Lanier Village Estates by answering their questions in the affirmative. Now, will you as residents encourage them and respect their decisions as they represent, serve, and lead you? If so, say, "I will." Ladies and gentlemen of the 2026 LVE Residents Association, on behalf of the entire community of Lanier Village Estates, I now declare you duly installed as board members. On behalf of your fellow residents and the staff of Lanier Village Estates, may you be blessed for the work that has been placed in your hands. At this time, I invite everyone who is assuming a new position on the Residents Association Board to take your place at the table as we now turn things over to the 2026 Board President, Strother Randolph, for the continuation of our annual meeting.
Wasn't that a smooth operation? I've watched enough inaugural addresses over the years that I figured an hour would probably be shorter than most of the ones we'd watched on TV. But when I told Cindy an hour, she suggested 3 minutes was better. So it'll be 3 minutes. So please indulge me, if you would, just for a couple of minutes. I'm honored and humbled to become your Resident Association President. Many distinguished, much more qualified residents have preceded me, so be assured that I do not take this position lightly. As you will see during the year, my big thing is recognition, so that we can all better know, actually recognize, and appreciate each other. This can start with everybody wearing name badges. That could then go into the hall buddies, and I know you've been hall buddies over the years, giving a real conscientious effort to integrate the new residents. That could go into some of us stepping out of our comfort level when we see a new resident, going up and introduce ourselves and welcoming. So you see where I'm going with this. We're gonna work this year on recognition. You've already noticed photos of the new culinary staff. You know, a lot of us didn't really know who they were, now we do. Hopefully we'll be doing this for new residents also. I first want to acknowledge and thank our immediate past president, Ches Treadway, for his leadership. He unfortunately had to step in mid-year, but didn't flinch and led us with professionalism and confidence. Let's show Ches he was appreciated. Now I want to acknowledge our staff. With Scott at the helm, I feel we have now the best staff, at least since I've been here, and one that is transparent and truly wants to do their part to make our LVE lives positive. Thank you, Scott. We appreciate you and your staff. We look forward to our continued positive relationship. After watching tons of football over the last several months, I see myself as the captain of a well-oiled team of caring and loving volunteers. That's everybody in here. We all make this a great community. First, my executive committee, Carl Ferguson, Marie, Caroline, and Kay. When Carl was approached, he said to me, quote, "I just want to serve. Tell me what I need to do." He has stepped up with enthusiasm and is ready to go. Marie, we all know, has done yeoman's work for us for the several years now, not the least of, and I thought she'd signed 300 checks. I've got to correct that to only 280 each year for employees to receive at our employee appreciation event. Think about that, signing that many checks. Cindy doesn't let me sign any checks. So we obviously trust you, Marie. You do a terrific job, and your extensive accounting and record keeping are absolutely flawless, as witnessed by the audit. She is appreciated and valued. Thank you, Marie, for agreeing to serve another year. Caroline is absolutely the most conscientious secretary I've ever seen. She's so creative and constantly looking at ways to improve the content of our board meetings and how to better communicate our activities to our residents. Did you notice the invitation to this meeting you received from her by email? It was sent somehow to every resident. I don't know how she did that. Caroline, you're a gem, but please slow down. I can't keep up. Kay Schultz, our representative at large, she stepped right up when asked to serve. She is important to you hall reps, as she is your direct conduit to the executive committee with any concerns, ideas, or so that you feel need our attention. So please utilize Kay if you need to get something to the executive committee. Now, to all you hall reps, thank you for volunteering regardless of how you went about doing that. Was it a soft arm twist or was it a big arm twist? Either way, we appreciate you. You may not think that your position is important in the overall scheme of things, but it absolutely is. You're each critical to the culture we want here at LVE. You have an important responsibility to be good to excellent communicators and seekers of resident input for the betterment of our LVE community. I strongly encourage each of you to be a positive influence on your hall and cottages, and constantly promote LVE to be the best community it can be. Now, the committee chairs, you are the backbone of what we do here. Thank you for your above and beyond service. Please know that each of your committees is absolutely essential to the welfare and overall positive resident experience here at LVE. Please impress upon your committee their importance and work to be proactive in all your discussions and decisions. To each of you, set some goals and have some positive results. The residents will cheer you on and thank you. With this said, I know our efforts as a team are important to the overall positive experience and expected and deserved by each of our residents. Important to positive experience expected of and deserved by each of our residents. I know that you all agree. My closing statement is brief. We all live in a wonderful community where we love and respect our neighbors. My pledge is to work with you, this team here, to make LVE absolutely the best community and resident experience it can be. Thank you. Now, before I sit down, we just got a couple of business items to take care of. The board can make notes that every meeting other than January will be the second Thursday at 9:30. So you can put that on your calendar. If you hall reps do not have a copy of both the new bylaws and guidelines and procedures, which I hope you do, but if you don't, see Caroline and she'll make sure that you get those. And I also would add, after you get them, please read them. A lot of work has gone into both of these documents, and they're important to us as leaders. This sounds silly, but we're already put together the nominating committee for 27, and we have 2 representatives from East, 2 from West, 1 from the East and 1 from West Cottages. We have most of these slots filled, but we still need 1 more person from West. So Barbara has stepped up, Barbara Roper, so we need 1 more from West. So we'd like you to volunteer before you get a tap on your door. Finally, and most important, remember I mentioned recognition. Well, Jack Anthony is here to take photos of us so we can visually introduce ourselves to our residents. You will see these on display around the campus. So please hang around a few minutes after this meeting so we can get this done. With that, I'll ask Duke to close us with benediction.
What a wonderful word to guide us this year. Recognition. I'm going to look up where that word comes from, but my guess is it has something to do with seeing again, noticing again, and what a gift that would be in our world and in our community to see each other again. I look forward to supporting that with you. Let us pray. Loving and kind God, with gratitude, we thank you for the 2025 Residents Association Board and their faithful and fruitful service under Sharon Schachter and Chess Treadway as presidents. May your blessing be upon the 2026 Residents Association Board as they begin their service for the year ahead, as Strother Randolph leads them as our president. And so, Lord, may your peace be upon your people, and may they lead with your peace, and may your peace be a beacon in this community for all of Gainesville and all those who will visit from around the world. We offer these prayers back to you in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, everybody. Pictures? Pictures, Strother?
Well, I think first I do this. I say, do I have a motion to adjourn? Do I have a motion to adjourn? All right, second. All approve. Adjourn. Now,
people that were recognized need to hang around a few minutes up here. We're gonna have Jack take pictures. It won't take long. Everybody.